Hi, Keith here from Academy of Bass. Today we're going to learn this great Rocco Prestia bass line. Francis Rocco Prestia is without question the king of 16th note funk bass lines, who together with his band Tower of Power produced a catalogue of awesome funkalicious tunes in which the bass featured really heavily and propelled the music like a steam train. Today we're going to learn the bass line to Ebony Jam, and I'm ashamed to say that until really recently I hadn't even heard it. Now, if you're a Tower of Power fan, you'll be familiar with songs like What Is Hip, Digging on James Brown, Soul Vaccination and Soul with a capital S, all of which are great tunes. But this bass line has all the classic trademark Prestia playing cliches, so let's get into learning it. Now, because the full arrangement is quite long and moves into different territory as the song develops, I'm going to look at the main core of the bass line. It comprises of 4 separate parts, plus a little connecting line that's used throughout. So I'm going to start by looking at that connecting line, and it's this. So we've got E flat to D, E flat to D, C to D. So we've got 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I'm picking all of those notes, but in typical Rocco Prestia tradition, he played so many of these lines with his first finger. So what he tends to do is anchor his whole hand and move it. Now, I'm the biggest advocate of economy of movement and playing as much as you can in one position, but this technique is great, and there's something about the mass of your hand moving together that really helps you get a solid, definite note. And actually, when you get used to playing this, it's not a great deal of movement. So we've got 2 options. Pick every note, or use this one finger technique. And if I'm being honest, when I play it, because I don't always think consciously of what I'm playing, I'll probably drift into a little bit of both. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the main bass line, and it's this. So we're playing over a C7 chord, and I'm playing a C root note, B flat the flattened 7th to C the octave, then it's C octave again, down to C root note, and then we get, so I've got 2 B flats the flattened 7th, 1 B the natural 7th, then a C root note, then we're back up to B flat the flattened 7th, octave C, and a root C. So the whole line is. So what I'm going to do now is just quickly combine that with the connecting line so you can hear what it sounds like. So we get 1, 2. So that's played twice as an introduction, and then when the horns come in playing the tune, that's played a further 4 times, and at the end of the 4th time, instead of playing that connecting line again, we play this. So it's a slightly different rhythm. We've got C, E flat to E natural, and then we move to F, and that's the next chord, F7, and we play the whole line again from an F. So we've got F root note, E flat the flattened 7th, F the octave, F the root note, 2 E flats the flattened 7th, 1 E the natural 7th, 1 F the root note, back up to E flat the flattened 7th, F octave again, and F root note. So I'm going to play that whole F section. Connecting line, back to F, back to C. And that leads us on to the next part of the line. So for this second part, coming out of the connecting line, we get this. G, F sharp to F natural, E to E flat, C to B natural, and then we finish with a hammer on, so we're going from B flat to C. So I'm using a consistent fingering as well, so I'm playing G with my little finger, F sharp with my second finger, F with my first finger, then I move my hand, E with my second finger, E flat with my first finger, C with my little finger, B natural with my second finger, and then... And now we're at the third part, which is my favourite of the whole piece. Now, harmonically, note-wise, it's actually quite straightforward, but rhythmically, it's much more syncopated than the previous two parts. So what I'm going to do is count it and play it slowly to help me and also to help you understand it. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 E and a... So we've got a C, a B flat, a B natural, and another C. Then we've got an octave C, and then we get this little line. So we'll learn that. We've got B flat, we hammer onto C, F, we hammer onto G, E flat, and 2 Cs. Now, the line as I played it there is exactly how it's played the first time, but the second and third time are ever so slightly different because it introduces some muted notes, and we get this 2, 3, 4. So we've got 2 muted notes before we play the octave C, straight down to C. Muted note before we play B flat, muted note before we play B and C. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Again. And the last time is a combination really, because we start with a octave and C root without any inflections, and then we go back to muted note before the B flat, muted note before the B and C. So I'm going to play all 4 times now, nice and slow, so you can hear the difference. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2. And that's that line over. So now on to the final part. Before I get into the fourth part of the line, playing funk bass lines is great, and I've actually done a lesson on how to create awesome 16th note funk bass lines, so I'll post a link to that. Make sure you check it out. And now we're at the fourth and final part of the line, and leading into it we get this. So we've played that previously. We've got C, E flat to E natural, and then we're into F, which is the next chord. So I'll play that coming out of the previous line. 2, 3, 4. And when we hit this F, we've got this line. So it's like a walk. We've got F to A to B flat to B to C to D to E flat and then to E. But when we first hit the first F, we've got this rhythm. So it's an 8th note and 2 16th notes, or 1 E and a. And as soon as we change to the next note, the A, that rhythm reverses. So instead of playing, we're playing. So So we're playing one meander, and that continues. Now, when I first started transcribing this, when I got to that section, I was completely confused because something happens in the music and I thought the time signature had changed or something had dropped out. But David Garibaldi, the drummer, takes the backbeat on 2 and 4 and changes it around. And that, combined with this change of rhythm in the bass line, displaces the beat. So on the track that I've used, obviously I haven't done that, but check out the original recording and you'll see exactly what I mean. But it's a great effect. So that whole line is, and then we're on to F, F. So we've got 2 G's, an A flat and an A. G's the second, A flat is the flattened third, and A is the third. And that's another textbook funk bass line. You hear it everywhere. Rocco Prestia uses it, everyone uses it. I use it all the time. But the fact that he's played it up the octave and displaced the octave makes it even more prominent. So from there, we're down to F with a muted note first, and then 2 E flats and an E. And then to finish off the line, we get... So we've got a descending line and our 8th note and 2 16th note rhythm, 1 meander. So we've got F, E flat, D, D flat, and B flat, and then the line goes on obviously, but this is where I'm going to finish. So I'm going to play that whole end section now. And that's the whole line finished now. Whilst this is absolutely all about the bass line, it's impossible to listen to any Tower of Power song and ignore the incredible horn section. So whilst I was working on this bass line, I was drawn to what the horns were playing because they actually play the tune, and I decided to work it out. And once I worked it out, I liked it so much that I thought it would be really good fun to incorporate it into the bass line. Now, I'm not going to play this all today, but I will post a link to a full playthrough, so make sure you grab that. So the best thing about this line is it's really straightforward. So the first line is, so we've got G, B flat, C, E flat, F, pull off from the F onto E flat and back to the C. And there's a second answering line, which is this. So it's very similar. G, B flat, C, E flat, C, B flat, G, F and E flat. And you can play that second line in particular by picking every single note. But horns are very expressionate instruments, and the way to get the most out of it is to play it with a little bit of articulation. So I actually play it like this. So I'm sliding into the G from the F sharp. You can slide in from anywhere, but I slide in from the F sharp, B flat, and then I hammer onto the C, E flat to C, and then I pull off onto the B flat. Then I play the G, and from the F, I slide into the E flat. So there's quite a bit of work there, but you can play it without that and it will sound great. Really quickly, I'm going to play through that now and incorporate it with the bass line so that you can hear what it sounds like. And I think it's great, so don't forget to grab that link. So we've got a great bass line there that's packed full of trademark funk elements. We've got root to flattened 7th to octave. We've got root to flattened 7th to natural 7th to root. We've got root to second, flattened 3rd and natural 3rd. And we've got a walking bass line. And that's not to mention the syncopated rhythm and the muting that's going on. So it really has got the lot. By the way, I'll post a link below to the PDF transcription for this, so make sure you grab that if you're interested in it. I'm currently releasing a new video every week, so feel free to give things the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, or hit the bell notification. That way you won't miss out on anything. Oh, by the way, I've got a big announcement to make. So in addition to the video lessons that are currently released every week, from next week, I'm starting a 5-minute bass series. So it really is a bass takeaway. It's no frills, no tricks, no gimmicks, and no hacks. It really is straightforward and to the point, and it's designed so that every week you'll learn a harmonic or rhythmic tool that you can plug into your playing and start using straight away. Thanks for joining me today. Look forward to seeing you again, and in the meantime, happy practicing.